Yes, your mobile phone is a TV studio in your hand. You can use it on vacation, and you can use it for business.
We show you the tricks to easily creating your own videos, and we'll share an app that makes you seem flawless on camera.
Plus, we can show you a little genie magic.
Don't blink, Undercover Jet Setter is coming your way. Hi everyone, cheers.
And cheers. You know, our show is about travel, food, wine, and golf, but it's also about showing you how to create your own videos or even your own TV show.
So we thought that we would take this entire show to give you some of the tricks that we use.
Now, you can also read about all of them in our book, The TV Studio in Your Hand, which is available on Amazon.
But for now, sit back and relax, grab a drink, and we will show you what happens behind the scenes.
And also, it's not that complicated. Shooting vacation videos on your iPhone is so freaking easy.
All you have to do is go horizontal, wide, and steady.
Now, here are a few basic tips from our book.
First, shoot in landscape. In other words, horizontal, not vertical.
Second tip, record and let everything happen in your screen.
Third, don't move. Hold steady for at least 7 to 10 seconds.
Now watch what happens. This is from a resort home in Curacao.
This is a wide 7-second shot held steady.
Now here is 7 more seconds of the rocks.
Here is a 7-second shot of the table.
And here is a 7-second shot of the cactus.
That's 28 seconds of video that you produced from only shooting 7 seconds of video.
Now, editing in the iMovie app allows you to squeeze the video without ruining the clarity of the video.
Here's something even simpler.
Now, this is 10 seconds of video shot at a bar. Again, horizontal, wide, and steady.
The first 10 seconds shows a wide shot.
The next 10 seconds zooms in on certain bottles on the right.
The next 10 seconds zooms in on the left.
10 seconds of video makes 30 seconds.
Just hold steady and let the camera do the work. So that will help you get a clean, steady, and watchable video.
That's right. There's nothing worse than a video that gives you motion sickness.
And the good news is that most of today's smartphones have built-in cameras with stabilizers, and that helps keep the video steady.
And you can also put the camera on a tripod to video yourself. Now, this allows you to shoot and then post videos right away without having to do much editing. Here is a great tip from our book, The TV Studio in Your Hand.
It works really well when you want to give friends and family a quick update on what's happening in your life, but you also want it to look professional.
Cheers.
Welcome. We are coming to you from Kuala Lumpur, or KL as it's also known.
Like us here in Malaysia, you have great vacation video.
And you want folks back home to see it ASAP.
Or maybe at work you need to post something immediately for your customers.
When is golf going to happen here at River's Edge?
John, we are absolutely ecstatic to announce that we're going to reopen tomorrow.
River's Edge Golf Club wanted their golfers to know that the course would be open the next morning after a recent hurricane.
Our team has done a phenomenal job. We have an outstanding maintenance crew, great staff. They were on site at 7 a.m. Friday morning.
And you can do this on your iPhone.
These are tricks from our book. As we mentioned, it's called The TV Studio in Your Hand, and it's available on Amazon.
And here's how to do it quickly and professionally.
Shoot a nonstop interview with your subject or speak your message on camera for 2 to 3 minutes.
Now make sure to prep ahead of time to know what you're going to ask or say.
This will be the foundation of the video. You don't want to make edits on this portion.
Remember, we're trying to turn this around quickly. Next, drop the interview or on-camera segment into the iMovie editing system on your iPhone.
Then cover portions of the on-camera segment with video you shot that pertains to the segment.
Choose the video and the exact place to drop it.
Hit the 3 dots icon, then choose Cutaway. It will drop in over the video segment while the sound remains.
Choose other videos to cover other portions of the interview.
Then save the video and upload it to your sites.
It's that easy.
Once you've mastered this, we would love to see it. And who knows, you might get a segment on our show. and great to have you join us. So cheers.
Cheers. Now, these tips we give you are also great to use if you have a business.
Now, sometimes you might want to get the word out to customers or staff about what's going on.
Now, try using these same techniques to reach them with video.
So what about you being on camera?
Well, for many of you, it may seem a little difficult talking directly to a phone rather than a person.
Practice it as much as you can, and it will become second nature, almost as if you were talking to a friend.
Of course, you still have to remember what you want to say and not have to do it a ton of times over and over again.
Yeah, but you can get around that with this app.
We have a new app to tell you about.
It's another easy step in making your smartphone your own TV studio in your hand, just like we say in our book.
That's right. Now, the app is called Teleprompter.
It works like you are working a TV news anchor desk.
Your scripts are now embedded and scrolling right on your camera screen.
We use it here on this business opportunity video about virtual training that we produced for you. We can create virtual training courses for you and your business. Now, this video platform can train all of your employees the way you want them to be trained in an interactive and fun way.
Now, it also helps your employees practice and repeat what you want them to do. Plus, it tests them to let you know whether they know the material or not. Now, can you tell the difference? We are actually reading our script rather than ad-libbing.
Now watch these two dingbats trying to discuss a cheap libation without a teleprompter. And you know, that bourbon was only $6.99.
Is that the beginning of that?
Yeah. Is that not what we're supposed to say?
That's exactly. I just completely forgot about it. So, okay. All right, go ahead.
And you know, that bourbon was only $6.99.
What'd you say?
$6.99. Oh, that's what you say. Oh, okay. Now, I don't get what we're doing with that. Should we just take it out?
Amateurs.
Teleprompter by Joe Allen is easy to load.
It is also simple to write your scripts. You can actually dictate right into the phone if you want.
The other great benefit, the script moves to the side of the screen where the camera lens is on any smartphone.
Now, this makes it look like you are speaking directly into the camera to your audience.
The app is about $16. It comes with a teleprompter script app.
Now, this makes it easier to load the script from a Word doc.
If you're shooting your own show, like we do, we highly recommend it.
And if you're delivering video messages to your friends or employees, this is also a great tool that will save you time.
Now, don't say you can't be a TV star.
Hey, if it can help these two, by the way, who are they?
No clue. Let us know how you're going to use it.
Now, it was actually pretty funny to watch all of those outtakes.
Yeah. And we should also point out that we try to make our show conversational and spontaneous, so we don't really want that scripted feel.
So you could always use the Teleprompter app as just a reminder of the talking points that you want to cover.
Now, we suggest you get one and use it as many times as possible to get comfortable with it.
And when we come back, we'll go into shooting food and drinks.
Welcome back. We are talking about how to create great videos on your smartphone.
Now, one of the great things about smartphones is that you can capture food at angles you normally wouldn't see. I mean, how many people really stick their face down into their plate of food?
Now, with the camera on your phone, you can get great up-close and personal shots to see the texture and the yumminess of the dishes that you're enjoying.
Now, here's a piece we did at a great steakhouse in Akron, Ohio. Not only was the food great, but our conversation with our dinner guests was hysterical.
Now, while you watch this, keep in mind that we used a small tripod set up right next to the table to get these steady shots.
Lanning's is the place, but it is more than a steakhouse.
It's a place where American dream steak meals are made, as our good friend Dale explains.
I've been to some of the big steakhouses, for instance, in Kansas City, Kansas. I've been to some of the renowned steakhouses in New York City. And you know, restaurants in New Orleans and Atlanta and Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. This steak will withstand scrutiny to any of the finest steakhouses in the U.S., and I don't think that's an overstatement.
But Lanning's food is so exhilarating it leads to some of the most interesting
Or strange dinner conversations.
Along with Dale's wife Kathy, we dove into the French onion soup.
It is so high.
Besides being served at the perfect temp, there is cheese. Lots of cheese.
Now notice how you almost have to lift it up over your head to get the cheese to break.
We also dove into this asparagus cream soup.
This is asparagus soup is delicious.
And it was, but clearly asparagus soup had a strange effect as my first soup intuition was proven faulty.
I probably like that better than the onion soup. It's very
Really?
good.
Well, that's my first thing, and then John said to order the onion soup. Sorry.
So I got off that topic and asked Dale the question we have all been thinking.
Do you worry about your pee smelling funny?
Sorry, this is going to get edited.
Oh my God. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not. Yeah, that did cross my mind.
Quickly, we moved to the salad. That was fabulous.
I like this. It's like having your own little salad.
I know, it comes right to
How
you.
fun is this? Go ahead, I'm done.
The salad presentation enhanced our senses, especially our hearing. We thought we heard a foghorn.
Somebody blows their nose like you.
Meanwhile, the salad included croutons, beets, blue cheese, olives, and anchovies, which led to your always strange gourmet response.
That's hair on the fish. Hairy fish. You're not putting hairy fish on my salad.
We chose a syrupy balsamic vinaigrette.
Now for the steak. We all got filet, which tells you something.
Look at that.
Doesn't that look amazing?
Did you get the same thing, Dale? Did you get a filet? What'd you
Filet-
get? We all got fillets.
Shrimp. Scampi. Yes,
Oh, you got scampi.
the scampi.
That's delicious. Oh my God.
Isn't that delish?
You don't need the steak knife to cut it. You're right. You can cut it with a butter knife.
I can't think of a better filet I've had in recent memory. It was incredibly flavorful, cooked to perfection. I had my medium rare, and could literally cut it with a fork. It was that tender, and it was just a pleasure to eat.
Kathy added some scampi to her filet.
Your scampi looks divine.
It is divine.
Oh my God.
This is like pure garlic butter. It is so good.
The vegetables were a medley of Brussels sprouts and carrots, and then the baked potato.
Of course we want butter. It's butter.
Definitely.
Add the sour cream, and you have a luscious side dish to complement that filet.
I've been to a lot of restaurants in a lot of cities, and I have to tell you, that is one of the finest steaks I've had in a very, very long time. So if an individual is really interested in a fine steak, I'd drive a considerable distance for this one.
It doesn't stop at the dessert either with this caramel apple cheesecake.
Caramel apple.
Correct.
A cheesecake. It's just shot through with big chunks of apple. Obviously caramel on top. It's creamy. And it has kind of little surprises because when you bite into it, these little apple chunks show up, and they're great.
Aren't you glad you got it?
I'm so thrilled we got it. I wouldn't have had it any other way. It was my wife's choice,
She's always
and
gets the
she's
best
always
ones.
right.
Smart man, that Dale. And you would be smart to hit Lanning's anytime you are near Akron, Ohio. And you're right, we did pick up some funny dialogue in there too.
And we should also mention that since our show is focused on food and drinks, we mainly focus on the items without showing people's faces.
That doesn't mean that you can't do that, just see what works for you.
Now, using two cameras can also make your video look better. We do that a lot with our mixology pieces.
Here's a piece that we did with a classic Hemingway cocktail. Notice that there are two camera angles that we go back and forth between. So welcome back to the kitchen, and this time we have something special. Now, it is a Hemingway daiquiri with a jet setter twist, but the difference is, and hopefully Papa gives us his blessing with this, and Papa being Hemingway, if you're a Hemingway fan, you understand. I think we have channeled Jet Setter from him into becoming Jet Setters, so, Oh my God, that's still delicious. I love it. Okay, I love it, even though we changed a couple of things.
Papa would be okay with it is because he changed the recipe a lot for himself. So in the 40s and 50s, when he was in Havana at the El Floridita, this is what he had all the time, and he changed it a lot. Now, one of the things that was in the original recipe that we don't have in there is sugar. It was a big teaspoon of sugar. So we don't put that in there. That's the difference in it there. So, but what we could do is we could do a Papa Doble. What's a Papa Doble? Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
You double the booze. We didn't this time.
It's like a Paso Doble.
Absolutely.
But a Papa Doble. Cheers to that. I love it. Of course, that's Hemingway style.
Hemingway would have originally called for a white rum. We did a gold rum. And the reason why we did it was because we didn't have a white rum, so we did gold rum. And that's what Papa would have done.
Yes, exactly.
Of course, the maraschino is a classic. You have to do it, you have to have it, and you have to keep it in everything that Papa has. And then the only thing was that we didn't put the sugar in.
Right.
And to me, that makes no sense. Why would you put sugar in it?
I don't know. That's what they did in those days.
Yeah, they did.
The other thing that we changed was we used pink grapefruit juice rather than regular grapefruit juice. Right. And I think that's a changeable thing too. But as you said, there's two key ingredients that you always have to have, the maraschino cherry, and the other one is the lime. You always have to have the lime. So that's our other tip. If you're gonna make a Hemingway daiquiri, any kind of rum, maraschino cherry liqueur, lime, and whatever kind of grapefruit juice you have. And you can skip the sugar. I mean, it definitely doesn't need it. I think it's perfect. Just add more maraschino cherry liqueur.
And as Papa would say, and it was good.
And it is good. And the more you drink it, the more you fall in love with it too.
Fabulous.
Cheers.
Now, what about being real clever? Watch how Susan can make me disappear.
That's next. So we did a little I Dream of Jeannie sleight of hand, and we'll show it to you in just a second.
Now, just to set it up, we were doing a segment on Pim's #1 cup, and I ran out of things to say, so I made fun of her ponytail hairdo.
And then 2 or 3 months later, when we were shooting the show Open in Hong Kong, we decided to have some fun.
Perfect summertime drink.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and during a tennis match, I mean, it's so prim and pim. It's very nice.
By the way, I get a chance to drink this with I Dream of Jeannie. So. Nice look.
Well, and I'm not going to call you
like
master if that's what you're thinking, just so you know.
But if you want like this, then we could end the segment.
No, she has to do, it's this. You have to do the arm fold.
See what I'm saying?
Did you not watch the show?
See what I'm saying?
Cheers to your health.
Here, Pim's #1. That was good, but your I Dream of Jeannie hair really didn't work.
Oh, yeah? So, I just transported John to Las Vegas. That's coming up next, March Madness.
Now, so many people are going to be upset when they realize it was just a video trick. So how did we do it?
We shot the scene 2 times. The second time, I had to stay in the same position. You moved out, and I redid my blink.
Now, the difficulty is making sure that that first shot and the second shot match. Sometimes you might have to shoot it a couple of times.
And then we found that the blinking effect was online. So we dropped it in for free and put in the audio in the editing app.
Now, before we go, just a word on smartphones.
We use the iPhone because it is easier. We both have one. Plus, we use iMovie to edit right off of the phone.
Now, you can use other phones. In fact, the other day I was talking to somebody from Canada who said the Huawei phone from China, which is having some trade barrier problems, is, according to this gentleman, far better as a camera than the iPhone or the Samsung.
So anyway, just go with your favorite and let us know how your video creations turn out.
And happy videoing, and cheers.
Cheers.
We are in Rome. Come join us. We hit the Eternal City with lots of recommendations.
And John, we've said this before, Rome is a bucket list destination with literally so much to see and do.
Okay, so let's break it down for you.
You have to hit the Colosseum. The Gladiator Arena is Rome's most thrilling and popular ancient site. It dates back 2,000 years to 80 AD.
Now, you can walk this edifice that was a 50,000-seat amphitheater, all in travertine marble. Imagine the seats covered by a huge canvas awning that encircled the arena.
All of this was built over an underground complex where animals were caged and stage sets prepared. The games involved the gladiators fighting either the wild animals or each other.
Now, you can also enjoy the Colosseum on a night tour.
Now, a short walk nearby is another must, the Roman Forum. This was ancient Rome's central district with temples, basilicas, and vibrant marketplaces.
Now, this is really where the Roman Empire began. It was originally a marshy burial ground developed in the 7th century BC, but Roman technology made the Forum free from flooding with an underground drainage system.
And the result was this huge government, commerce, and entertainment meeting spot for different local tribes and ethnicities who would create what would become the social, political, and commercial hub of the Roman Empire.
Now, we would suggest signing up for a tour online ahead of time so you can really get the most out of your time there. Our guide, Tanya Grigg, says plan ahead.
They need to go through the reviews, go through TripAdvisor and stuff. Other than that, through experience, through friends. Like if a family person recommend, that is the best way to find a good guide, I think, You have experience with us and you can, I believe how people recommend than the site. Sometimes in the websites you find wrong information,
Okay.
A tour guide should definitely speak good English if they're looking for an English tour or a Spanish tour. And local guides are the best, because they know what they're talking about.
Talking and enjoying locals is something to passionately embrace. Romans are very friendly and helpful, and Tanya gives us some key Italian words to know before you go.
If you can say ciao and buongiorno, which is very common, you don't have to be scared to even to say ciao to a stranger. If somebody's passing by, Italian or not, even an American in Italy, you have to say ciao. That's the first thing.
The experience we've had, especially compared to other countries, is that in Rome, people are approachable here. It's actually, they're more friendly to talk to tourists.
Very connected, yes. We even have to say hi to the dogs that they walk, Very friendly. You don't find dogs trapped inside the house because everything is connected. You feel home, Now, I am an immigrant, but I never missed home because everybody is friendly.
Next, you must hit Roscioli Salimeria. Make reservations even if it's a weekend afternoon. You will understand why it is so popular. Okay, so let's get into the food here.
Okay, well, first, get the cacio e pepe. This is simply pasta with cheese and pepper, but it is anything but simple in the flavor department. Here at Roscioli, it is cooked to perfection, al dente, and that is really the key to making this dish. But remember, you may see some online reviews that say the pasta is undercooked. It is not. That is al dente, and there is a nice briny bite from the pecorino cheese that complements the fruit and spice of the pepper.
Now, if you have some food tolerance like gluten, you can tell them so you can make the right choices.
Next, you will want to head to Trevi Fountain. This was made famous in the 1954 American film 3 Coins in the Fountain, and there's a tradition of throwing a coin in to guarantee your return to the Eternal City.
And as you can see, many may not return because of bad throwing arms. Another must-eat restaurant is La Pace del Palato near Piazza Navona.
Here, get the carbonara with truffles. This might be the best we've ever had. The pasta is again perfectly al dente, and the carbonara sauce was classic with eggs and cheese. It's light and velvety with no cream or milk added, the way it's meant to be.
Okay, explain the pork cheeks because they look like bacon.
And the pork cheeks add a nice salty, crispy edge to the carbonara, giving it even more deliciousness. And then we had this beauty, straccetti di filetto con rucola, pacchino e scaglie di parmigiano.
Now that's easy for you to say. Now what is it? It's sliced beef with arugula salad, pacchino tomatoes, which are mini cherry tomatoes with Parmigiano cheese.
Now this beef is sautéed brilliantly and then complemented by the fresh baby tomatoes, the peppery arugula, and a sprinkling of Parmesan cheese.
Now some tips when you are in Rome. First, you can go almost year-round. November through February, though, can be a bit rainy.
The ideal time would be late September and October when it's not real hot and mostly dry, or May through June is also beautiful.
Next, bring good walking shoes. You will walk a lot, even if you take the metro or the public bus lines.
And take taxis. Just make sure that you have cash on hand. And there is a taxi app also, just like Uber. You can hook your credit card up to the app and pay that way when you order the taxi through the app. Uber is in Rome, but it is UberX, the bigger and more expensive Uber service.
And Uber also offers Jump electric bikes that you can pick up and drop off around the city.
Just download the Jump by Uber app from the App Store to access it.
Also, get the house wine. Unlike in the U.S., this is the best one. This is the first time that we shot video off the iPhone 11 Pro, and wow, what a difference.
Oh my gosh, yeah, take a look at some of these shots. Now this is at the Spanish Steps in the late afternoon. You can really get professional results.
The 3 cameras on the phone allow you to shoot wide shots too. Take a look at these shots.
And it also allows you to take great photos. Look at some of the food shots we got.
We also have a lot more on Rome. Just go to our YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/undercoverjetset.
In Cozumel, Mexico.
You may have noticed, but the majority of Undercover Jet Setter is shot on the iPhone.
So that means you can create your own TV show.
You may want to have great vacation videos.
Well, we've made it easier for you with our book. It's called The TV Studio in Your Hand.
It's a quick read, and you can get it here.
So bring us along for your next vacation video or your new TV show.